Hey guys, it's Magaz here connecting you to airsoft. Today we're going to do an interesting little experiment video, something that has been doing the rounds for many years that is kind of defunct now with the prevalence of affordable home chronographs. But if you've been around in the airsoft scene since the early 2000s, you might have heard the legend of the poor man's chrono or the Coke Can Chrono. Back before we all had our own chronographs, when we would upgrade an AEG, we'd throw a new spring in there. The only way we could chrono that gun would be to turn up to an airsoft event, hope that we'd be under the limits, test it on the site chrono, or we could buy a can of Coke, pour that shit out, and then shoot the can. If we look on Instructables right here, the theory says, intro, poor man's airsoft chrono. If you ever played airsoft at a field or even with careful friends, you know the importance of having a gun that shoots at the right FPS. Today I will show you how to get a rough FPS reading from a soda can. Materials: airsoft gun, of course, 2 gram BBs, has to be 2 gram BBs, according to this anyway. 2 empty Coke, Cola or Sprite can. They've called it Coke Cola, it's a typo, but it does taste like coal. Safety glasses and gloves for your hands. Make sure you have an undented Coke can. Other brands work too, but Coke and Sprite have the most uniform thinness. Step 3, now, the tests. Put on glasses and gloves. Now hold the gun about 1 or 2 inches from the gun muzzle. I assume he means can. Be sure to keep your fingers out of the line of fire. Oh no shit dude, you don't want to shoot your tips. For test 1, you'll be shooting at the round side of the can. Dead center. Shoot on semi once. If you shoot at the side, just here, and it goes through one side, apparently we're looking at 290 to 315 feet per second. If it goes through this side and this side, we're looking at about 320 to 350. Now if your gun went through those 2 sides, you have to go to test 2. For test 2, turn the can and look the shiny side opposite the top. This is not very well written. Where you drink out of. Aim to the left or right of the scent. I assume it means center. It'll be marked in the picture. Again, about 1 or 2 inches away on semi. So what he's saying here is just here. Not here, right in the center. Apparently it's thicker, so just here. If it goes through that, we are looking at about 350 to 375 FPS. Now if the BB went through the bottom side, you're gonna need a new can. So you're gonna have to open another one, pour that shit away while you're drinking your Pepsi Max, and then you're gonna fire at the center at the bottom. If it goes through that very center part, we're looking at 400 to 450 feet per second. And if it goes through the top, 450 upwards. So we're going to put this to the test today. I have a bunch of springs for my ICS CS4. This should take it from about sub 300 up to about 420, which hopefully will give us center in the bottom. We'll see. I'll put the lowest power spring in first. I will chrono it on that with the Ace-Tech chrono. We'll make sure we have an accurate reading of what that FPS level is. Then we'll take it to the Coke Can Chrono, give it a test. Once we've tested that, I will take the spring out, put the next spring in, chrono it on the Ace-Tech, then we'll do it again. Once we've got through both sides, I'll put a higher power spring in, see if we can get through the bottom, and then see if it is accurate or see if it's just bullshit. Let's jump into it and get on with the tests, because you don't want to stood here looking at me talking all day, you want to see me shooting shit, so here we go. Low power spring. $320 straight through both sides. Try it on here now. So it doesn't go through, but 320 does break the bottom. Stock spring. Right, so this one's doing 350, side of the can. Straight through. Let's do the bottom on the other side. Straight through. Yeah, the center actually stopped it at 350. It did break it, but it was close to another hole. Top doesn't go through at all at 350. 417 goes straight through, no issues in the center. Give it a try just here where the other one failed. There we go, 417 does not go through the top of the can. Gonna need another can now. No issue at all, went straight through. Whoa! Even at 450, it did not go through. Try the other side. So there we go, 450 will not penetrate top of a can. So the first thing you're going to notice is I did say I was going to be using the ICS CS4 to chrono this. Now, I opened it up and remembered that this is an early version of the CS4 platform and it does not have the quick change spring. So if I wanted to change the springs, the 4 springs that I was going to put into it, I would have to disassemble the entire upper gearbox every time. Luckily, of course, I'm also making a video on the Ape SE, and this is one of the flagship ICS AEGs right now, and it does have the QD spring guide, and it's just literally 2 push pins to take it apart. It's so easy to work on. So I tried it with a 1 joule, an M100. The M100 is the spring that this comes with out of the box. So the 1 joule was doing 320. The M100 is doing 349 to 350. Then I put in an M120, which is doing 417. The M140 brought it up to 450. Anyway, digressions aside. So what were the results that we found with the Coke Can Chrono test? As you saw, this is actually fairly accurate. The numbers that are on this instructable do seem to relate pretty accurately to what we've just tested. Unfortunately, we didn't have anything sub 300 or around 290 to 315 to do a single side test. Our 320 FPS spring went through both sides, as did our 350 FPS spring, which is what it says on here. It says bottom sides 350 to 375, and as you saw, the bottom side was penetrated by our 350 spring. When we went up to the 415, 417 spring, it tore through that bottom and also sort of the 450 spring. The top center, it did say 450 upwards. Now, as we saw on our can, it did not penetrate. So I think the only one that is inaccurate on that list is the 450 in the top. I believe that anything 460 or maybe even higher than that is what's going to penetrate the top of that can. So if you are in a pinch and you need to chrono your AEG with a 2 gram and you have an empty Coke can, by all means go ahead. It is reasonably accurate, but I do think a more reliable way to do it, of course, is to go out and buy yourself a chronograph. So I've had several chronographs over the years. A lot of them have been a bit shit. The one I have used in this test and the one I used in all of my review videos is the Ace-Tech AC6000. Relatively inexpensive piece of kit, and I've compared it to chronographs at a number of different sites, and it holds up really accurately to their FPS readings, which is ideal if you are obviously going to be tuning your AEG or your rifle at home and using it on your home site. It's great to have a chrono that matches up with that. So while the Coke Can Chrono does hold up to the myth, I'd say don't rely on it entirely. Go out and buy yourself a chrono. Cool, so that's it. Are there any other airsoft myths that you want me to check out and maybe bust? Let me know down in the comments what you'd like me to take a look at in future. If you want to see any other airsoft related content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. There are some reviews coming very soon, namely this guy next. This is the ICS CXP Ape SE. I'm super excited. This thing is a dream to fire. and I'm doing a noob to pro review video on this platform. This is one of the older ICS CS4 rifles. It's front wired into this PEC box, which is terrible. So I'm gonna make it have the same performance as this beastie very soon. So stay tuned to see when that goes live. As always, I'm Magaz, thanks for watching. Remember kids, the air may be soft, but our balls are hard. And check out this video right here for a playlist of other interesting airsoft related content. Maybe take a look at this one here. This is a pretty good airsoft video that the algorithm thinks you want to watch. So, cool.